thank God this movie exists, because now I know that if I ever need to break out of prison, or if I need to pull off a heist, I know that the number one thing that you need in order to pull it off is conveniency. Man on a Ledge, released in 2012 and is directed by Asker Leth, who's directed such films like Ghost of Cité Soleil and Move On. It's the name of the movie. It wasn't just me saying that. And this film stars Sam Worthington, Elizabeth Banks, Jamie Bell, Anthony Mackie, Genesis Rodriguez, and Ed Harris. And if you're a teacher out there, and if you ever need to convince your students that Wikipedia is not a valid source when you are citing in a research paper, then send them over to the Wikipedia page of Man on a Ledge and look under the starring section. You'll notice that Ed Harris is listed twice on there. A man is such a badass in this movie that we had to name him twice. Sam Worthington plays Nick Cassidy, who was a former cop that was framed. But Nick is able to escape prison, checks himself to one of the very top floors of a hotel, and seemingly wants to commit suicide by jumping off a ledge. But this movie's about an hour and a half long, and that is about the first 5 minutes of this movie. So something else is happening here. Come to find out that this whole thing is an elaborate plot to break into someone's very expensive vault to steal a diamond that apparently Sam Worthington stole, and that's what got him caught as a cop. So in order to prove his innocence, he has decided to now actually steal the thing that he was accused of stealing back when he was a cop. So I'm gonna steal it now. Yeah. That is some Nick Cage National Treasure type thinking. The only way to protect the Declaration of Independence is to steal the Declaration of Independence. Makes sense to me. But I am actually glad that Micah Hearn did recommend this movie, because it always pops up in my digital library, and I got this digital copy for free. I purchased another movie, I forget which one it was. It may have been Avatar, or it could have been Terminator Salvation. I think it was more likely that one. And they offered a free digital copy of a second movie, so I picked this one, because all the other ones looked even worse. And I remember watching it back in 2012 or 2013, around there, thinking like, okay, that was fine. I didn't hate it at all. But now going into this movie again, I completely forgot what was happening. Nothing from that original viewing stuck with me. So it was like watching it for the first time. And right off the bat, I have to say, I love the title of this movie. I love it when the titles of films just get down to like the bare bones, as if you're talking to a caveman or you're talking to a child, teaching them how to speak. Man on a Ledge. Girl on a Train. Or like any title of a Nicolas Cage movie. Drive, Angry, Knowing, Next. I love these titles. But to be honest, after this next viewing, I actually kind of like this thing. It was intense. The pacing is great. They really don't waste any time here. We are in. He gets on a ledge almost instantly in this movie. We have a little bit of nonlinear structure and flashbacks where we go back to see, okay, how was he a cop? And then he was arrested and he was put into prison. How did he break out? And then we go right over to the jewelry heist, which happens like a couple of buildings over to the side. In terms of the performances, I think they're just fine. I'm not the biggest Sam Worthington fan, mainly because they tried to shove him on us. Clash of the Titans, Avatar, Terminator. This guy's the next action man. No, he's really not. But with that being said, I do enjoy him here. He seems like a likable guy too. But probably the performance that I was most impressed with was Elizabeth Banks. It's hard not to like Elizabeth Banks. She has done so much, and she's her own brand now. She's an actress, she's a director, she's a producer, but a lot of the roles that I find her in, I think that she's a little over the top and a little campy, but I am very impressed with her performance here. She's a professional negotiator, it seems like, and she's dealing with some PTSD over someone that jumped on her watch a couple of weeks or a few months in the past. So you can tell that she's drinking, that she's hopped up on sleep pills, and I just really like the subtlety of her performance here. That's what it is. It's not your typical over-the-top Elizabeth Banks. No, this is very subtle and very internal, and I like it. Ed Harris plays the villain, of course, and he has the diamond. He set up this cop, and yeah, he's just a badass and everything. Again, listed twice. Overall, I like these performances. When we get to the story, though, this plot, this plan that they have to prove his innocence and to steal this diamond that he supposedly already stole, that's what got him convicted, does not make sense at all. I'm gonna plan this elaborate plot, but a lot of this rests on the idea of me actually escaping. He is able to escape the guards when he goes to his father's funeral. They let him out for a little bit, but he only escapes because a train is coming by and it buys him a couple of seconds. Did you really know the train schedules? Heck, even the final moments when they're trying to apprehend the bad guy, it happens out of convenience because a fan who is watching this entire thing tackles one of the guards. This guy represents us, man! Conveniency. So this doesn't make Nick Cassidy into a genius heister. Is that what you call them? A heister? That's what I'm going to call him. He's a heister. But it doesn't make him into an elaborate one. It just makes him into a kind of a stupid one. You are risking so much based on so much stuff that you have no control over. That is dumb. If you watch movies like The Italian Job or any of those Ocean's movies, you can tell that they had everything mapped out and they were in control of the majority of things. This plan, they have no control over anything. It was actually getting to the point of this was starting to become a comedy. Watching scene by scene and instance into instance going, wow. This is hilarious. You are putting all of your eggs in this basket, not thinking about, okay, how can I make this a calculated risk? It makes him out to be a fool. Part of me was able to turn my brain off and just enjoy the movie, but then the other part, when we got to this ridiculousness of certain situations, I'm thinking, no one in their right mind would go through this. It's like this plan was the first draft, and no one went through and edited it, or took a look at it, or thought like, okay, well, let's question this. Maybe we'll do this a little bit better. Maybe let's wait a little bit. Nope, first draft. This is good, let's go. And now that I say that, a lot of the characteristics, especially when it comes to Jamie Bell and Genesis Rodriguez, this actually makes a lot of sense. These are not skilled robbers. When they're swinging, when they're lowering themselves on the bungee cords, they're clumsy. They're not professional. It takes them a while to get their footing. And that was a little aspect that I love, because you get all of these movies, like the Ocean's movies, where they're ziplining in, and they have complete control over their bodies. They're able to stop at the right moment and get their footing and get in. These guys, when they're lowering themselves, they're kind of all over the place, and they don't have a stable balance. An aspect that I actually liked about this movie. In the end, I'd say that Man on a Ledge is actually a fun and enjoyable time. It doesn't overstay its welcome. This movie is an hour and a half. The pacing is fantastic. The performances are actually pretty good. You get some stereotypical New York accents from actors that are definitely not from New York. And if you're able to turn off your brain for the majority of this movie and not dissect this plan that they have, I think you'll have a good time. I'm going to give Man on a Ledge 3 out of 5 Blu-rays.
Not exactly what I had in mind, but not bad.
Alright everyone, now comes my favorite part in my videos where I randomly select which movie I'm going to be watching next, so let's take a look. Mission Impossible! Ghost Protocol! Speaking of heists, this was the beginning of the Mission Impossible franchise where Tom Cruise was trying to kill himself. Hey Tom, we really want you to come back to Mission Impossible. Well, what are you going to do to get me back? Well, would you like to hang off the tallest building in the world? Yes. That is exactly how that conversation went. I remember being shocked and almost pissed off at watching this movie in the theaters, thinking, wow, this is the 4th film in this franchise that has been around for at least 10 years. And somehow this 4th movie is the best one. How? I'm excited to check it out. Thank you again, Micah Hearns, for the recommendation. If any of you have recommendations of films that you want me to review on here, please leave a comment below this video, or go to my Facebook page, my Instagram, or my Twitter. Leave your recommendation there. And if I have access to it, I will watch, review it, and give you a shout out on the channel. So guys, if you've seen Man on a Ledge, what did you think about it? Were you pleasantly surprised? Please comment below. Let me know what you thought about it. And if you like what you saw here, if you like my take on movies, then hit that subscribe button. And if you have friends, if you have family members that love hearing people talk about movies, bash on movies, then send them over my way and have them hit the subscribe button. And remember, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, I will torture myself by recording myself watching Arachnophobia. I'll do a short little review on it as well. Oh, it's a movie I have not seen since I was a kid because I have it. Arachnophobia. I just can't do it. So guys, I will see you next time with my review of Mission Impossible 4 Ghost Protocol. So in the meantime, be well, be good to each other, and go watch a movie. Take care, guys.